Hello and welcome to Verbal to Visual Video. I'm your host, Doug Neal, and in this, the third episode of this video series, I want to share my 10 favorite simply drawn, hand-sketched icons that I use most frequently in the visual notes that I take. When I first started learning how to sketchnote, I was scared of drawing, and frankly I still am, but what helped and what allowed me to slowly grow my confidence in this realm over time was the development of kind of a set of simply drawn icons that I had practiced and that I knew how to draw. And I wanted to share those with you in case you're in a spot where you want to give visual note taking a try, but maybe like me, you weren't really a doodler growing up. You didn't have much of a drawing background, but it's a skill that you'd like to develop. So let's get into it. Here are my top 10 most frequently used hand-sketched icons that can serve as metaphors for all sorts of things as you're taking your visual notes. A pencil to represent making things or writing or drawing or creativity or sharing ideas. A book to represent learning or knowledge. A coffee mug because I drink a lot of coffee and could represent energy, or coffee shop or cafe or breakfast or anything else that relates to coffee or drinking something out of a mug. A light bulb to represent ideas or innovation. A star to represent achievements or goals. The back of an envelope to represent email or snail mail. A cell phone. A laptop. A simple stick figure to represent a human. And finally, thought and speech bubbles that come in handy all the time. If you're not sure where to start in the development of your visual vocabulary, start with these 10 and build from there. These 10 elements can be stretched surprisingly far, and that's because what's nice about developing these simple icons of physical objects is that you can use those objects to represent all sorts of things. One icon can serve as a visual metaphor for a variety of ideas, and that's where the other elements of your visual notes, the text accompanying these icons, or just the context in which these notes are being taken, that's what allows for one visual metaphor to be able to serve a multitude of purposes. And if you need to, I encourage you to go back and look at how I drew each of those elements, the way I built up each visual metaphor using very simple shapes. And my approach to drawing is from a very kind of simplistic standpoint. I don't see drawing as being anything different than writing by hand. When you write out the alphabet, when you write out letters, all you're doing is you're creating some combination of straight lines and curved lines to make an object that people recognize. So there's not that much of a difference between writing a capital B and drawing a really simple coffee mug. It just might take a little bit of practice to get to the point where you can draw these visual elements with ease and not be stressed out in the process. A bit of practice goes a really long way in that realm. So start with these 10 elements, practice them, learn them, tweak them if you want to, make them your own, and go from there. If you're interested in checking out some of the other visual elements that I most frequently use, then check out the visual vocabulary pack that I put together. It includes a set of 124 hand-sketched icons, including the 10 that I showed you in this video. And it also includes a brief guide called Sketch It Out that walks you through the process of developing a more personalized visual vocabulary that is most appropriate for the context in which you work. You'll be able to develop a visual vocabulary that applies specifically to the topics that you're most interested in and that you are taking notes for. You can find links to that pack below this video, where you'll also see how to sign up for my email newsletter, which I send out on a weekly basis, so that you can get these videos and other resources delivered right to your inbox. So check that out. Good luck developing your own visual vocabulary, and I will see you guys next time.